Everybody, Miracle Chaos here. One of my favorite places in all of Jacksonville. I'm at the Ribault Memorial. Beautiful, beautiful place, beautiful scenery. Wanted to talk to you today about things that affect your mood. I want to talk about 5 things that affect your mood and a bonus thing as well. Certain things help set our moods and affect the way we feel in negative and positive ways. And I want to talk about some things that affect us both those ways and which ones you really should be aware of. You should be really cognizant of things that affect your mood. You know, we get so caught up in the thick of thin things in life and caught up in our daily routines and our habits that we sometimes don't even realize things that we're doing or things that we're practicing that affect our mood. First thing I want to talk about is music. The music we listen to definitely can have an effect on our mood. Now, let me say first of all, music generally affects our mood in a positive way, period. We all have our own taste in music, and our music, all different types of music has different moods to it, But when you listen to music, the rhythms, the beats, the tones of the instruments, the rhyming of the words, all cause music to seep deep into our thoughts, deep into our soul and our brain, and really do affect our mood. And have you ever heard a song and later on that song won't get out of your head? It just keeps repeating itself. Songs have a way of doing that. They have a way of sticking with you, and they really can affect your mood. Now, different songs are written for different moods. If I'm really pissed off, I may want to listen to Marilyn Manson. If I want to get motivated to go out and jog, I may listen to Eye of the Tiger. Or if I'm trying to set that certain mood for a certain thing, maybe a little Lionel Richie or Marvin Gaye. Studies show that music elevates our mood, period, even if it's sad music. And that's generally true. However, if you are suffering from depression or something like that, sad music can only pull you down more. So that's the first thing to be cognizant of, is the music that you're listening to. Now let me say one more thing about sad music. And I said studies show that sad music sometimes helps your mood too. And it does. And here's when and why. If you just recently went through a breakup, or maybe you lost a loved one, you're going through a difficult time, and you're listening to a sad song, that sad song can be like a friend there that understands the way you feel. Have you ever listened to a song and listened to the words and went, wow, that really, really captures how I feel right now? Well, sad music can do that, but be careful and be aware, because if you're already unhappy and that sad music or certain songs are helping to put you into a certain place or reinforce a thought, a negative thought, or a negative feeling, then you want to be aware of what type of music you're listening to and careful about how it's affecting your moods. Second thing that can affect your moods are the people that you surround yourself with. If you're around negative people, those people are going to bring you down. If you're around people that like to gossip and talk about others, well, then you're going to be prone to gossip as well. And when you're around somebody that gossips and talks about others, you know deep down inside, it has to come across your mind that, hey, if they're talking about Jim like that, what are they saying about me? And I have a good friend named Jim. Jim, this is not about you. But if they're talking about him or her like that, what are they saying about me behind my back? And you're doing the same thing if you gossip. So that's something else that'll really affect your mood, is the people you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with negative people all the time, then you'll become negative. If you've ever heard the philosophy, as within, so without, as without, so within, that is absolutely true. Be careful who you're around and how they will affect your mood. Remember what Mom always said, birds of a feather, you know the rest. Number 3, self-talk. Now, the way you think, the things you say to yourself, the way you talk to yourself affects your mood. Most of our self-talk is negative. We have a habit of talking to ourselves negatively. I can't do that. That won't work. They won't do that. They don't like me. That's impossible. They didn't think this through. Things like that. Those types of negative self-talk really harm you. They put up roadblocks and they stop you. I remember some years ago hearing Les Brown speak, and he talked about, have you ever had an idea, something you wanted to do, and you turn around and you talked yourself out of it? Negative self-talk definitely will affect your mood. To eliminate the negative self-talk, be aware of that, and here's what you can do if you're practicing negative self-talk. First of all, take a look, step back and look at what you said to yourself and the things that you're saying, and ask yourself, is that realistic? Is what I'm saying realistic? For example, if you say, I always do this, is that realistic? Do you always do that? If you're first trying something that's difficult and you say, I'm no good at this, I'll never be able to do this, is that realistic? With practice and time, you sure you wouldn't be able to do this? Second thing you want to do is you want to ask yourself, are the things that I'm saying helping me? Or are they hindering me? Are they helping me reach my goals? Or are they hindering me? If they're hindering you, then you need to address those. Be aware of those. Next thing, put it in perspective of the big picture. Look at the big picture of things and ask yourself, what's happening now? Is this going to be affecting me in a few years? How big of a deal is this really overall? Fourth thing I want to talk about is our language. Our language, the things we say, really affect our mood. I talked a little bit about negative self-talk, but this is actually your language, the actual words that you choose to use. You can choose to use positive words instead of negative words. You can say things like, you have a choice. You can say, I choose to, instead of I have to. And if you think about it, most of the things that we actually do are based on the choices that we made and the situations we put ourselves in. You can say, I can, instead of I can't. We have some visitors. We can say, I will, instead of I won't. I'm capable. I can do this, instead of I'm weak. I'll never be able to do this. Or I've done this before. I can do it again, instead of I don't think I can ever do that again. If you've done it once, you can do it again. Using positive words and using positive language, studies have actually found that it actually affects your brain chemistry. You release endorphins when you use positive language, and negative language does the same thing. It really affects your brain chemistry. Another thing about the language that you choose to use, when people are around you and they hear you use positive or negative language, it affects their perception of you. They see you as capable, they see you as weak, or they have confidence in you, or they have no confidence in you, depending on the type of language that you're choosing to use, positive or negative. So it affects the way we see ourselves, and it affects the way other people see us as well. The fifth thing is I want to talk about where we focus our energy. And I'm going to use a little demonstration here of this. If you can imagine, if this circle, if you can see it here, are all the things that come at you in life, all the things that happen to you in life. And then imagine another circle inside of that. Everything that happens to you, everything that comes at you in life, is either something that you can control, or you cannot control. You have no control over it. Where are you going to spend your time, your energy, your thoughts? Obviously, you need to spend it in the area where you have control. This is, if you go back to ancient Greek philosophy. The Greek philosopher Zeno, about 300 years before Christ, taught about Stoicism. And Stoicism, the teaching is spend your time, your energy, and your emotions on things that you have control over, not things you don't have control over. Common sense, right? It makes sense. But do we always do this is the thing. You will also find when you spend time on things that you can control, the things that you can control, that circle will actually grow bigger and the other will grow smaller because you'll have more control over your life. You'll have more decision-making abilities, and that will be your area of focus. And the other things you won't even see. You won't see the things you can't control because you're not bothering spending your time or your energy on them. So here's a little exercise you can do. You can do just what I just did. Try this throughout the day. Do this once a day for about a week. Write that circle. Write a smaller circle inside of it. And think, what did I do today? What did I spend my time on? What are the things that I can't control that I spent my time on? What are the things that I can control that I spent my time on? Where do I want to continue to focus my time, my energy at from here on out? That'll help you realize that and think about what you're spending your time on and be more aware. So 5 tips on things that affect our mood, things to be aware of. Now let me give you one more bonus tip. And I'm not going to speak a whole lot about this, but 3 more things, bonus tip, 3 more things that you should know of that affect your mood that you may not realize. The amount of sleep you get, the food you eat, and exercise. If you want to learn more about those, stay tuned. I'll talk about them in another video. Or use our good old friend Google. This is Amir Kel Chaos signing off. Thanks for your time. Take care.